Hi everyone, my name is Lisa and I am owner and creator of Gypsy Woman Charm. Today in our video I will be upcycling 3 items that I've chosen for the Sonnets 40/40 challenge. And what that is in the Sonnets membership group, we have been challenged to spend $40 on thrifted items and then either upcycle them or sell them as is, and we have 40 days to sell them. And then the one of us that makes the most money off of our items wins the challenge. So today I will be sharing 3 of these items with you. One of them went through 2 different processes. I chose one color, then I changed my mind and went a whole nother way. So I'll share that with you in the video. Thank you so much for joining me. So please subscribe and hit that bell, and you'll be notified every time I put up a new video. Thank you for supporting me, and let's get started. Project 1. So first I went with this piece that I thrifted, and it is just a wooden clock. I like the face on it, I like the numbers, and I like the little drawer in the bottom. So I tape off the front of the clock so I don't get any paint on it, and then I take off the knob because I'm going to use a different knob on it. And so then I had decided to use Fusion Alchemy paint in the juniper color, and beautiful color. I loved it. I thought, well, I'll just go little cottage core with it, and I was just loving it. I thought it would be great, and then I thought it needed something else. I wasn't happy with the way I thought it was too plain. So I decided to add some embellishments to it. And that's when I brought out the IOD Trimmings 3 mold. I thought it would work perfectly, so I picked out one of the trimmings, and there I am putting the cornstarch onto the mold so the airdry clay will not stick to it. It'll come out easily. And after I figured out where I'm going to put all the trimmings, I take Gorilla wood glue and attach it to my piece. Then I decided that it needed something on the top, and I had these two embellishments that I do not know where I salvaged them from, but one is a little metal piece and the other is a little finial, a wood finial. So I am going to merge them together and use Gorilla Glue construction adhesive, and I'm having to use the end of a paintbrush because the tip is not working right, so it will not come out if I squeeze it try to squeeze it through the tip. So I'm using it this way because you know we do not want to waste anything. Now I've lost this next footage, but this is where I changed everything. I decided to use Fusion Mineral Paint and Ash to paint over everything, and then I used the Vintage Gold and dry brushed it over the trimming. And now I want to do something different to the drawer, so I'm taking the Gilded Etiquettes transfer, and I just took a piece out of it just to give it the drawers some gold on it. And now I'm sealing it with Sweet Pickins Top Coat to seal that transfer in. I think it turned out wonderful. I added a little wood knob that I painted with that Vintage Gold, and I'm very happy with the way it turned out. Project 2. My next project is this really cool vintage jewelry box. I thought it was really neat. It had been abused a little bit, but not anything that couldn't be taken care of. I took off the old hardware, and I'm going to put new hardware on it, but it's going to look vintage, so it won't take away from the vintage piece. I had cleaned it up real well and inside and out, and I know I want to put decoupage paper on the top. So I decided to use Fusion Mineral Paint in cashmere so that I can use it as a good background for the paper that I'm going to use. So now it's time to put on our decoupage paper. I'm using the Photo Journal Masterboard from Roycycled. I thought the colors matched that velvet plum. It really complemented it. So I'm using the Fusion Decoupage and Transfer Gel. And then I'm going to mist the paper to stretch those fibers. And I snip those corners so that the paper will lie down flat on the edge. So then I let it dry for several hours. I needed it completely dry. You don't want to try to sand off the edges if it's damp at all, because it'll just rip the paper. So I take my little finger sander and I go around the edges. So then I decide to take Fusion Mineral Paint in the Vintage Gold, and I just want to go around the edge with it, just to give it a little bit of, I don't know, it just gives it a little bit of something. I like gold and glitter and glam, and I just thought it needed a little something else. Now I knew I wanted to do something to the drawer, but I didn't want anything to get in the way of the hardware when I put the hardware back on. So I took a little piece of transfer from the IOD transfer Wilda Bloman, and I just cut it up just to put little pieces all along, just to draw your eye down to the drawer. So I just used my nail to get the transfer down on the drawer, and then I burnished it. And now I want to seal it, and I'm going to use my go-to Sweet Pickens top coat to seal the transfer. So now it's time to put the hardware back on, and I'm using the original little pull on that drawer. I thought that it worked really well with it, but I am putting a new clasp on the jewelry box itself. Luckily, the new clasp worked with the original holes that were on the jewelry box, so I didn't have to drill any new holes or anything. Project 3. So here's the ceramic rooster that I broke from the car to the house because I'm a big klutz. But I was able to repair it with IOD Airdry Clay and some construction adhesive, and it worked perfect. I used some Salvation solution and I primed it, and then I took Fusion mineral paint in iron clay and painted it. I wanted to me that looks like terracotta, and I wanted to fix it up to try to make it look like a terracotta rooster. I ended up using 2 coats of the Fusion mineral paint and iron clay, so just to make sure it had complete coverage. After it's completely dry, I'm using DIY white wax, and to give it more of that terracotta look, like it's a little bit aged and weathered. So what do you think? Does it look like a terracotta rooster? Lily and I would like to thank you for joining us for this video. I hope you enjoyed the projects that I did, and I hope you learned some new techniques or some new items. If you're interested in anything that I used in this video, you can go to gypsywomancharm.net and find them. Also, please join us on Thursday, May 22nd at noon for the new IOD summer release. You'll love it, so please join us. Thank you, and God bless.